Heavenly Father, I ask with all your might and all your love and all your glory and honor to please just let this team make it out alive in Philly this coming Sunday. Amen. Why did I just do that? Because that's literally the only thing that I can think of for the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this game Sunday. Steel sermon in the house Thursday morning. Another video for you guys. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, on Twitter. Links are posted in the box below. I can't wait for this game, said no one ever. As we got the Battle of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and it's going to be pretty one-sided. It's Pittsburgh versus Philadelphia. When you think of in-state rivals or in-state matchups in general, you think of, stuff like Cleveland versus Cincinnati, both Chicago teams when it comes to baseball, New York going up against each other, Houston and Dallas, San Antonio and Dallas in the NBA, Los Angeles and San Francisco in both baseball and football. But I'll tell you, Pittsburgh and Philly, you want to talk about the two feuding neighbors? That's it right there. Do I hate the Eagles? No. Do I hate the Phillies? No. Do I hate the 76ers? No. Do I hate the Flyers? Yes. That's just how it is. I hate the Flyers so much that it's given me a personal beef with the city of Philly, but not to the extent to where I hate all their sports teams. It's just the Flyers I hate. So that's my thing with Philly. It's just Pittsburgh and Philly, man. The two feuding neighbors that just hate each other. But getting on to this game, Steeler fans, I am just going to get right to the point. We're going to get destroyed this Sunday. And it won't even be close. Why is that? Well, not only is this Philadelphia team 6-0, not only are they coming off a bye, but they just completely outmatch us in every aspect that you look at it coming into this game. Oh, and by the way, in case you haven't known, last time the Steelers won in Philly, going back to this past Tuesday, 57 years ago. This past Tuesday marked 57 years since the Steelers won in Philly. For reference, my parents were both born in 1964. They were toddlers when that happened. Basically, it's never happened in their life. Well, technically it has, but they were way too young to know what was going on back then. We couldn't beat them in Philly during the Steel Curtain era. We couldn't beat them in Philly in the Cowher days. 2008, won the Super Bowl that year, our first loss of the year, an L to the Eagles in Philly, a game in which the Eagles racked up 9 sacks on us. 2016, we have the best offense in the league. Carson Wentz is a rookie. What happens? 34-3. Philly. Not even close. So if we couldn't beat them in Philly when we were at our absolute best, and now we come in when we're at the lowest we've been since 2003 pretty much, why should I expect any different? The only thing that's notable for us coming in this game is that Levi Wallace is having a little bit of a shoulder problem. But honestly, it might be for the best that he doesn't play in this game, considering that he let 2 interceptions drop right out of his hands. literally in the palm of his hands. Even though the pass defense over the past couple weeks has looked really good for us. But I'm not expecting anything. You know, like, why should I have to sit down here and expect changes? I know people love, pointing fingers at Matt Canada, and I'm one of those guys now. But when is this fan base going to wake up and realize that Mike Tomlin has just as much to do with the ineptitude on offense than Matt Canada does? Because after all, Tomlin is the head coach. Tomlin's the one keeping Canada on his coaching staff when he can easily tell Omar Khan or Artie II, you know what? This guy ain't cutting it for our offensive play calling, and I don't want him on my coaching staff no more. When are people going to wake up and realize that Mike Tomlin is just as responsible as Canada is for why this offense ain't doing it? And look, with the people that are just getting in on Kenny Pickett, look, I'm not denying that he threw 3 interceptions, but I argue that 2 of them are hardly his fault. If you blame him for the first one, you're just out of your mind. Because Chase Claypool trips on his own 2 feet, and that leads to an interception. Now, it's been discussed that the Dolphins got away with defensive pass interference on that route, but me looking at it personally, I think Chase slipped. And then the second one shouldn't have even happened because the O-line got us into that predicament after Kenny Pickett got us a first down on a QB sneak, followed by it got nullified thanks to an illegal shift, and then a holding call on Dan Moore followed that, and then the interception. The last one, yes, that is on Kenny Pickett, because Kenny, at that point, you have to either run out of bounds or give yourself up. Either way, you get a first down with your legs. You can't force a pass like that. Am I going to kill him for it? No, because I understand at the same time it's a rookie mistake. It's part of the growing process. It's growing pains. I'm going to lay off on him for a little bit. But all I'm saying about that is that a throw like that can't happen. The defense is ready in that situation. The defense sees that you're targeting one guy. You're not taking his eyes off of him. And they're going to make a play on it every time. You can't make a throw like that. And if Mike Tomlin and Matt Canada are going to keep doing this, what I call prevent offense. You guys know prevent defense, right? Well, what the Steelers are doing is prevent offense. 3rd and 22, yeah, let's run a draw play. Let's do a dump-off pass. Let's keep doing the jet sweeps and hope they continue to work. Every single week, this team takes the field and they have their first drive of the game. Run on first down. Prevent offense. Let's run it on second down. It seems like the only way Najee Harris is capable of getting yards this year is when he's the second option at receiver for the quarterback on a screenplay. This guy had 1,200 yards on the ground in his rookie year last year behind this offensive line. And while I do assign a lot of blame to the O-line for why Najee Harris is not looking as productive as he is, at the same time, the very few holes that are being opened up for Najee because this run blocking stinks, he ain't getting them. That's on Najee Harris, man. So, why am I just going to sit down here and anticipate Mike Tomlin to make any changes when he's probably the most stubborn coach in the league? And this really has nothing to do with his waste of timeouts and, only preparing against good teams and not seemingly enough to play against teams that are well below your talent level. It's beyond that. He now holds responsibility for why this offense is the way it is. And going up against this Philadelphia Eagle defense, who have cashed in 12 turnover, who have a plus 12 turnover differential. They've caused 14 turnovers this year, and they've only turned the ball over twice. Have great ball awareness skills, are just skilled all around, and have basic fundamentals with the best secondary in the league with Gardner, Bradbury, and Darius Slay. 17 sacks on the year for that front, and their rush defense allows only 5 yards per carry, with their front being filled with pressure. They bring a lot of heat in the pocket. They're efficient with the control that they have as far as staying off the field is. And you look at the guys they have in Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, former Steeler gravedigger Javon Hargrave, who in that entire 2016 draft class was the only player that did anything for us this past offseason, adding Hassan Reddick and Josh Sweat. And now they just added Robert Quinn to that already stacked front. You take a look at that front going up against this offense, we might get shut out. I'm not even kidding. We might get shut out. And it's not a knock at Kenny Pickett. It's just he's not experienced enough yet. Yes, I'm being patient with him. Yes, I'm letting him make his mistakes like any rookie would. But I'm sorry, dude. You just don't have what it takes to go up against a defense like this. I thought Tampa Bay was the second hardest game on the schedule this year. I was wrong. This is. There is a legit chance that we could get shut out. I'm not even kidding. The Eagles could shut us out. A combination of an absolute stacked, efficient, physical, grimy, and tough defense. I don't see a thing wrong with that defense. And the best secondary in the league going up against a young offense that has no clue what they're doing as far as the play calling goes. You're going to need all the luck in the world, Steelers. And I didn't even begin to talk about Philly's offense yet. They're a run-dominant offense. Another mismatch for us because we all know how this defense does against run-first offenses. Except when we go against Lamar Jackson for some reason. But anyway, starts with Jalen Hurts. He's got all the intangibles. He has all the fundamentals. And this guy has really turned a lot of heads this year. He has evolved into a two-way quarterback. And that's why Jalen Hurts is their starter. And he's getting the job done left and right every single week. You take a look at Miles Sanders. Perfect compliment to him. Miles Sanders has been phenomenal for Philly. You take a look at in addition like A.J. Brown that they had in the offseason. He is a tough guy to get on the ground. Covering him is hard enough. But trying to tackle him is even harder. The way that he competes for catches. The way that his speed makes a difference. The way that he's able to bust a move on the secondary. And with this secondary that apparently can't catch interceptions, I don't know how they're going to be able to stop him. You take a look at guys at Smith and Watkins. Their speed. It's like going up against Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle all over again. because their speed is going to kill you too. They're going to flash all over you faster than the speed of light if you're not careful on defense. And that's why Philly's winning all these games. They're tight ends. More specifically, Dallas Goedert. I think he's been the catalyst of that offense for years now. They're strong too. And then that offensive line. The thing about playing zone defense is this, and I highly disagree with it, because zone defense has never worked well for us at all. The thing with zone defense is this: if you're going to play zone defense, you got to get a pass rush going. And guess what? We're going up against the best O-line in the league. They don't allow a whole lot of sacks. They don't allow a lot of pressure. I keep saying, man, you don't have to sack the quarterback to cause pressure. But this game, we're going to do neither. That Philly O-line may as well be the Great Berlin Wall. We ain't going to get past it. This is a game where we're desperately going to miss TJ Watt. So I think Malik Reed finally has to make a difference here. And Highsmith, we haven't called his name in weeks, need to make a difference here. We need something as far as a pass rush goes. Because if Tomlin doesn't trust our corners and safeties to not only come up with an interception, but to cover these guys playing man-to-man when we have the frickin' talent to do it, and if you're going to play zone, get a pass rush. Philly just outclasses us in everything right now. Their game plan, I mean, they're winning games with a no-name head coach and Nick Sirianni. Nobody knew who Nick Sirianni was until last year. Nobody knew who this guy was. But apparently he's a damn good coach. And that's why Philly's undefeated. They outclass us in everything, and they outmatch us in everything. Game plan, game prep, offense, O-line, man-to-man, zone, schemes, you name it. Ball control, time management, you name it. The Eagles are undefeated for a reason. And it's because Nick Sirianni has transformed Jalen Hurts into a two-way quarterback, and he has manned up this defense. And it looks absolutely flawless. Sure, there are a couple of times where the defense looks a little sloppy for Philly. You know, sloppier than that cheesesteak they have over there. Knock on wood. Joke. But you get the point. He's just done a phenomenal job. And I just don't see, with how inexperienced we are and how careless we are and how we just make these stupid mistakes week in and week out, how we go to Philly and we pull off a win. I don't see it. I think my only key to victory, and yes, I am going to put in a key to victory for this, because there's just a small part of me that's like, you know what, it's Pittsburgh versus Philly. I'm going to respect us enough to at least put in a key to victory. But the key to victory for me personally is this. Take advantage of your opportunities. Whether it comes to it's play calling on third and short, whether it's getting a good drive going, whether it's stopping Philly in their tracks on defense, having them to go 3 and out, or hanging on to an interception. You got to take advantage of opportunities. Kenny Pickett, be very, very careful out there. Because if I was the head coach of the Steelers, not even if I was Mike Tomlin, But if I was the Steelers head coach, I would pull Kenny Pickett aside because I saw that he was really like kind of in a rush on Sunday to get a playoff and to make a play. I would pull Kenny Pickett aside and go like, Ken, you're a great player, you're a smart guy, and you're the quarterback of this team, but calm down. Just take your time, make smart decisions, and you will see improvement. That's what Kenny Pickett has to do. He can't force these passes. He can't make throws that he's incapable of doing because part of being a quarterback is knowing your limitations as a quarterback. And if Kenny Pickett can't make those throws on the run like he tried to do against Miami, where he should have either ran out of bounds or gave himself up to get a first down and give us a good chance at winning the game, then he can't do it. Just take advantage of any opportunity that this team gives you. I don't expect us to win this game. I don't think anybody expects us to win this game. But all I'm saying is, you got to be able to bring some pressure. You got to be able to find a way to solve that offensive line. You got to cover well. And for the love of our Lord, stop playing zone defense. That is just killing this defense. It ain't TJ Watt's absence. It ain't the injuries on defense. It's playing zone defense. Enough of that. Get a man-to-man scheme going. But yeah, that's my preview for this game. Steelers and Eagles. It ain't going to be pretty. 1 o'clock kickoff in Philly. And that's really all I got to say. Steeler Nation, this team's on its own. Anything that I say is irrelevant. This team is on its own. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. Links are posted in the box below. Steel Sermon, checking on out for the night. May God be with you all. And may God be with the Steelers. They're going to need it.